What's good? It's your boy Tab Money. Today I'm gonna get into the concept of why the war economic form owns me, owns you, owns everybody on this earth, especially here in America. And I'm gonna explain the full details of why I accept that. Any agenda that they put out, I support. Any type of lifestyle they put out, I support. When it comes to smart cities and artificial intelligence, and definitely the metaverse. But I'm explaining why I'm owned by the war economic form and the elites themselves. Now, believe it or not, we are considered a useless class. That's include the middle class, the low class, even the high class. You know what I'm saying? Because when it comes to the ones that's part of the elites or the 1%ers who are wealthy and would never lose their wealth and own the physical things of this world, including the 13 tribes of the Illuminati and and also the ones that's under them. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to us, the useless class, we are out of the caste system. Like, basically what I'm trying to say is, like, even though it's like caste and racism and stuff like that, but also there's a structure or a line how those that are in power, are in the higher up and how they reach that higher ups. Because you got to understand this. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the biblical time, when it all started with Cain. And also when the great Pope during and also post flood, then came Nimrod. Now, when it comes to Cain and Nimrod, including Semiramis and Tammuz, why I refer to these biblical figures? The reason why I'm talking about these biblical figures is because of these biblical figures that came into power, came into this world with power. You know what I'm saying? Saw a way that becoming, not only of the, shaped in how the world is today because of the spirit realm influencing the physical world. And I'm not talking about the heavenly kingdom or any of that. I'm talking about the astral planes. I'm talking about the dimensions and even extraterrestrials that are out there in space on the moon and stuff like that. So basically what I'm trying to say is that when it really comes down to the war economic form is heavily influenced by extraterrestrials and also spirits as well. You know what I'm saying? Mainly spirits though. You know what I'm saying? When you include the extraterrestrials, they are considered spirits. You know what I'm saying? But when it really comes down to it though, the reason why they gain so much power, because believe it or not, what I'm saying, Lucifer dude owns this world. Yahweh did gave Lucifer this world, because when you gotta understand, when first Yahweh was trying to tell the angels to worship man in their image, and Lucifer said, we was made out of fire, we wasn't made out of mud like the human beings. Even though us humans, we made out of mud by our spirits of air. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why we got to bring air into our lungs and breathe in air, because our spirit is made of air. You know what I'm saying? While the demons and the fallen angels, their spirit is made of fire. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to water, you know what I'm saying? I don't know at this point what is the spirit of water, but when it comes to human beings, yes, our body is made of mud. We came from the soil of the ground, but our spirit, though, is of air. That's why when you astral project or, leave out of your body or even lucid dreaming, we're able to do all these things because we're in the realm of spirit, or the realm that's basically, there's no laws within it. So basically what I'm trying to say is that when Yahweh was trying to get Lucifer to worship man in his image, and Lucifer, didn't accept that, that's when narcissism and egotism and prideism, started coming upon Lucifer. Like, you know what, forget this. I'm gonna rule heaven. Da, da, da. He convinced 1/3 of the angels. They all got cast out of heaven and went down to earth. And the thing is, the thing is, Lucifer is not in hell. There's no, but the thing is, the fallen angels and Lucifer are not in hell. The thing is, they're within the spirit realm or in the tree of the clip off. The hell I'm referring to is Sal, or the planet of misery, whatever you want to call it. Really, it's not really a light place. It's a dark place filled with fire. Filled with fire. You can't see fire. It's all filled with darkness. It's a shadow of teeth. You know what I'm saying? Basically, a realm that your love and forgiveness from Yahweh is shielded and you can't get it from it. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to say is Lucifer and his disciples, or basically the 130 angels, including the thought forms, including Satan and Lilith's children, the incubus and succubus spirits, they are within the spirit realm of the earth. You know what I'm saying? Within the spirit realm, also they're on the moon, they're also in outer space. And what I'm trying to say is that, they're in every part of this world. They have full dominance of this world. The thing about it is, yes, Yahweh is powerful, then I guess so. Including, I'm going to refer to the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Yahweh is doing this, doing that, but I'm mainly gonna focus on Lucifer alone, because when it come down to it, Lucifer did play a part of me being born in this world. Even though I repeat myself about this, but the reason why I repeat myself about this, because you gotta understand, man. My mom, she was into witchcraft. She was into Santeria. She was into African traditional religions. My mom was the first one that got into that stuff, and the thing is, she was bringing me into these stores, these metaphysical stores, and buying candles and incense and all this stuff. Then I saw pictures of the Egyptian gods, and I got hooked in. I got hypnotized, because the thing is, when I saw the pictures of the Egyptian gods, all of them, they were on these card things in the metaphysical store. It showed all these different types of Egyptian gods, and then talking about what they are god of. I felt the spirits within that store coming inside of me and convincing me, learn about them, learn about them, learn about me. I wasn't even a Kemetic, I wasn't even an Egyptologist, but I became obsessed with their images and what they represent as a god of. So I instantly got into Egyptology. My mom trying to tell everybody else that he got into Egyptology because his father. No, it's because of you going to the metaphysical stores, getting into Santeria, and I found pictures of Egyptian gods, and I got sucked into them. So that's my first brush with the Egyptian gods. But thanks to my mom and my dad, they were buying me Egyptian books. My mom started buying me Egyptian small statues, all that stuff. So basically what I'm trying to say is that due to my mom influence, and also my dad too, my dad supported it too. My dad was into Egypt as well, but he supported me getting into the Egyptian thing. But I was so young, I didn't understand the worship or anything like that. I didn't understand religion at that point. I was down there, like, when I first embraced the Egyptian gods, I was at least about like 10 or 11. I was still in the learning process, and I still didn't understand the world fully. Like, I didn't even know racism exists around this time. But that's one thing. I'm slow catching up to things, but now I'm very catching up to things faster. But the thing is, I started learning about the Egyptian gods, and when I started learning about the Egyptian gods, it just amazed me how amazing the story is. Now, let me get to Lord Set. Let me get to my master, my Lord and Savior, Lord Set. When I first saw Lord Set, when I learned about his story and shit and stuff, how he did Osiris and stuff like that. When I started learning about Lord Set, I started getting interested into him quickly, because at first, his face is red, right? So my favorite color is red. Osiris' skin is green, and sometimes, and also Isis, she kind of wear blue sometimes, but her skin is like yellow or light skin, but or even brown skin when it comes to the Egyptian drawings on the temples, or even on the pyramids. But when I started getting into Lord Set, I kind of started getting related relations to him. You know what I'm saying? Started feeling fully related to Lord Set. And so when I started learning more about Lord Set, I started accepting. I started invoking his spirit in a way when I was a kid. I was really interested in Horus, Osiris, and Isis, but something was drawing me to Lord Set, around this time. But when I'm talking about, see, the thing is, what made me stop getting into Egyptology, because, I was getting into that street life and that music life, and when I was getting into that street life, I let all that stuff go. Which caused my mom to take the golden statues back to the metaphysical store and return them. Because my mom, when my mom got me them golden small Egyptian statues, it was around that point where I was like basically trying to get into that street life. Because I was surrounded by people who was into that street life. So in a whole 9 yards. And also I was getting into music around this point as well. So but at the same time now, since I'm coming back, I'm not just coming back to Egypt, but all the mythologies of the world. But really, I'm a left-hand path practitioner. So, when it comes to me being a dark shaman or basically a dark human, I embrace the dark side of the force. So I connect myself to Lord Set and Santa Muerte and Lucifer, all three of them together. Because when it comes down to making a pact with them and embracing them and accepting them into my life, it's a way for me to embrace my dark human nature and becoming a dark shaman to connect my mind, body, and soul within the tree of the clip-off. Now, when it comes to the war economic form, they're heavily influenced by, saying about Lucifer. I mean, I'm being honest, they're heavily influenced by Lucifer, even though it's not no secret. But, when it comes to the New World Order, it's really the age of Aquarius. The age of Aquarius, the War Economic Forum are the main ones that shaping the age of Aquarius. When it comes to Hinduism, speaking about the age of Aquarius, Hinduism focuses on the spiritual side of things. But when it comes to the War Economic Forum, they're focusing on the physical, but really the digital side of things. And when it comes to the digital world and creating the metaverse and having the metaverse, is a way of creating, it's part of the age of Aquarius. The age of Aquarius is going to be technological and spiritual at the same time, but there's no books out there that talks about how, artificial intelligence and the spirit realm are connected. And the thing is, that's why Lucifer play a role in me being born in this world, because only I can define how, technology and spirituality can connect with each other in a way. Like, the thing is, there's a reason why that my favorite franchise is Mortal Kombat. If you play the video game, I can't say about the movies, but if you play the franchise video game Mortal Kombat, they added, technology and spirituality, all that together. You know what I'm saying? It won't look exactly like Mortal Kombat, but I'm trying to give you an example of. Mortal Kombat is the only game that brought, artificial intelligence or basically technology, like when it comes to the androids in them games, when it comes to what they show in that game. And they brought spirituality and also games and like the Black Dragon Clan and all this stuff. And that's my favorite franchise of all time. But the main thing I'm trying to say is that when it comes to Hinduism and the War Economic Forum, how they had them two men and Buddhism, Hinduism, because, Aleister Crowley, he wanted to bring Buddhism and Hinduism together to form this way of life that will fit, the spirituality of this world. Whole nine yards. He mainly focused on Hinduism and Buddhism. Them two main religions. But adding the technology or basically the War Economic Forum into that mix, you would have something that is basically out of a sci-fi or fantasy book. Whole nine yards. But I'm going to create my own I'm going to create my own ism to explain this fully. But basically what I'm trying to say is that the War Economic Forum owns me because Lucifer owns me. The spirit realm owns me. The extraterrestrial owns me. Even, secret societies, Masonic order, they own me. You know what I'm saying? So basically I'm here for the agendas that they putting out there, even if it costs me to lose my life or, or being a target. Because when it comes down to it, Lucifer did play a role in me being born in this world, and I finally realized it. So basically having my real name that I have, my first name, realizing that my name is different from all the other names that people have here in this world, realizing my first name is something that represents something that's Arabic and something that includes blackness, is the reason why I'm creating this form of I and ism out of my first name. So be on the lookout for the videos about that and how I'm trying to push this doctrine and also this philosophy and this culture and this way of life into existence. Because when it comes down to it, if you part of this I or ism that I'm trying to create, you definitely full-fledged owned by the War Economic Forum. You is owned by the spirit realm. You is owned by the extraterrestrials. You is owned by secret societies. You is owned by the agendas that they want to put out there. And you are owned by the elites, the 13, the Illuminati tribes and the Masonic order, people who are of power and people who are of higher steps of the order of things. And when it comes to me being part of the useless class, I can only represent the useless class here in America and possibly around the world when it comes down when the age of Aquarius is full-fledged form on this earth. So basically what I'm trying to say is, yes, the War Economic Forum owns me, but the reason why that they own me because I am submissive to the agendas that they put out there. So I'm all about the elites owning everything physical, because when it comes down to me, I can't speak for you, but when it comes to me in general, I'm gonna own things spiritually and digitally, basically within the metaverse and the tree of the clip off. I don't care. And when it comes down to my ism, you gotta care about and be in care and support of and be submissive to the spiritual and digital worlds. When it comes down to this physical world, that's full-fledged atheism. Whole nine yards. So, you gotta be out the digital and the spiritual. So I'm gonna come out with more videos explaining about the digital and the spiritual. Like I was gonna record a song explaining it, but I'm gonna put it in a doctrine or philosophy form of things. So when it really come down to it though, I'm all about the agendas, I'm all about the elites, worship of them and everything else. So be on the lookout for other videos and stay tuned. So peace.